All right, there we go. Now I'm recording this. So I wanted to record this fast just in case, we got on a roll. Anything happens today. We're going to open up the phone lines in a bit. It is coming up on 7 o'clock. And like I said, I'm going to do a little research show today, which is bullshit, play some good music, and have a good time. Talk about the tradeometer today. I mean, I might actually take a tradeometer trade right now. The tradeometer has been pretty much pretty dead on. I mean, back here when the market closed, or where was this? What time was that? Right when it opened, or 1700 over here. Why am I saying 17? 17? Why am I saying 17? Because it was flat. That's why it's flat. Because I'm like looking at the tradeometer. Never, don't mind me. I'm like 1700. Anyway, 1600 to 18, 6 o'clock open to 6:30. We kind of flagged. And then we had our first buy signal. Really good dip there. And, again, there's three different ways we're looking at things. Pattern wise, using technical analysis by, determining support resistance levels, any type of patterns, any type of divergences. What's your reasoning behind getting into a setup? Anything. Could be any of the indicators. RSI, deviations, divergences, you name it. So that's one way of looking at it. The other one, of course, is the tradeometer, which is a combination of indicators. The tradeometer actually it lines up all the time frames on the cash and the ES, so you have everything in your favor, and that's why these things work out so well. They do work. I mean, this is such a valuable tool, but it's a tool. It's not going to be 100%. Or else I'd be, it can't be 100%. Nothing's 100%. But it gives you such a good, if you could read the market and understand a choppy day versus a trend day, then the tradeometer is the perfect thing, because you could step out or know which side you want to take your trade on. On a very strong downward trending day, or let's say an upward trending day. Let's say a very aggressive day to the upside. In this case, this is what we call a chop day. This is a real chop day. It's a mixed day. S&P's down, Dow's up, Nasdaq's down, but big moves, big pivot areas, versus a very straight hugging, tough, grindy trade. And if you can identify that happening, that's more than half the battle. Staying out of the way of a trending thing, and anything will be run over, everything, including the tradeometer. But the tradeometer will also give you the great setups on half the signal. So it will always give you that great pullback signal, because the market is trending very strong. And when that market is trending strong, you shouldn't be looking at selling or shorting that. You should be taking advantage of the trend and, getting that pullback into the tradeometer. In this case, this is a chop day, but I'll give you better examples when we do have that trend day. So I've been working good. It's just have to remember that, there's a good time, there's a bad time. But overall, I'm just saying, you can't deny there is something at work here. And when you find that right time, it's just like my best analogy is for people who are gamblers, poker players or blackjack players, and you're a casino, and you know the game so well that you know when to bet, when to double down, because that's the best odds of making the money. These are the double down cards. This is not, you might get a bad beat here, news comes out, market drops, but the chances are your odds all of a sudden start to go up here, and that's because other things are looking at these levels too, and we're able to identify these levels. And that's it. That's it. We don't want to complicate it any more than it is. Not to talk about it any more than it is. It works, and the right scenario, when it works in the right scenario, that's the time you have to really notice it and then apply it. And there's other things that come into play. Psychology, experience, trade, confidence, fear, money, management. Just so much that gets involved in each one of these levels. You might see a good setup. You don't pull the trigger, and then you're psyched out, basically. Pops, then you think you're chasing it, and then it pulls back, and then you just you have to get to that point where, I don't know, just you got to trust it. So that's what the market has looked like today. Now Anthony just called before. He was like, "Oh, I heard you're on the air. Let's, I just heard from my guys that the market's going to crash within the next 2 weeks." Well, let's take a look at the charts here. One thing I say. Things look good. Everyone's on board. Things start to pull back. Oh, it's more of the same. Oh, we got back up. We're on our way. Oh, we didn't do much today. We're probably going to crash again. We break through this level to the upside. They'll switch up again. It's day by day, and you cannot predict how each day is going to play because it is the overhanging news. I mean, I think the trade for me next week or going into Wednesday, the FOMC meeting, so much, Trump came out today saying there's not going to be any more, or I think he thinks that there's not going to be any more rate increases this year in 2018. Where the consensus is, I think the odds are 70-80% still say there is one rate increase. Then we go back to Jay Powell mentioning that we're very, very close to neutral. The market rallies on that, pops aggressively, and then it pulls back. So what does that mean? What is we're very close to neutral? It means maybe we have another rate increase. It's data dependent, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say that we get a rate. I'm going to say they raise rates this week. First of all, I think they go against Trump to prove that they're not bowing down to him. And they're only planning on one. That could open it up for 2019. That could be a clean slate, much easier to manage. I think people are going to realize that real fast. So if we do get that rate increase, interest rate hike, all right, we do get that, and the market just reacts even just a little to the downside. I want to take a lot of SPY calls. I want to take that trade. I want to see if that trade is going to be it's going to be a little gamble, but that's the
Tradeometer.
You want to buy into that weakness, look for a fast reversal, and then off to the races. And that's what we're going to say. They're going to say all clear 2019, and then they're going to have a conference call. I don't know. They're having a conference call in this meeting. If they're having a conference call, they're going to come out saying that, yeah, now they're neutral. Now, and then it's going to be data dependent going into 2019. I don't even know. But I guess it's important if they did have a conference call, too. I don't want to ask Alexa that. She would have no idea. All right, so the one thing a positive here I like is definitely the divergence. The divergence is showing up. It's showing up on a couple different things. I would almost put that the Apple divergence is even more exciting for me. It's a really nice divergence. It's a higher low. It's a lower low on the price. It has a pretty decent channel. 5 to 7 day pullback. It has a lot of things going for the 200 period moving average above us. And today was the birthday of anniversary going public, I believe, like 30-something years since its IPO, and it's only up 43,000% if you bought at the IPO at $22. Apple. All right, so that's the Apple, and then we're going to take a look at the SPX, the S&P. There is that big candle here, right here. We had a candle here. We did a pretty good analysis over the last 3 days of just looking back at these signals. All these signals have a couple of things in common. They have reversal candles, and they're oversold, and they've been a pullback. They seem to all be holding the 200, no, they're not holding the 200, excuse me. They were holding the 200 here. They broke down through the 200 here. But look at how they popped up to the 200, popped up above the 200, popped up above the 200 and failed. It's almost symmetrical. It's almost like the 200 could be adjusted All right, it can almost be adjusted here. Got to the 250 moving average, or the yeah. All right, so we have a little slight divergence here on the S&P. Looked good. The hourly was pulling back today. Now we've gotten back into an oversold level on the 9.3, the 14.3, just entering that level, and it looks like just a good organized pullback. I'd say news will determine if we get that breakdown. I think we have to have bad news to get the breakdown to the lows. I think there's going to have to be no news. So I don't know if the fast money people are looking for some news to come out. All right. So let's go on to our watch list going into the week. We'll try to do this pretty fast. Viljar mentioned in the room here, everyone has waiting for a dip that never comes, and those that are waiting end up chasing. That's true. Looks like an inverted head and shoulder. I mean, like I said, it's kind of catch-22. I love the pattern. I love the strength. Today we actually noticed great strength in an area. Just watching the markets day by day, minute by minute, you start to feel maybe something. Not to try to get too mystical, but you start to just, I'll give you an example. Go back out here. And we go back all the way to the day, all the way here. And at this point, I was just focused in on the ES, and that's what it's important to do. And we were watching the, I guess the low at this time, and at the time when if we zoom in here, we get to this point right here. Oh, I want to get to the point. We're actually right there, we're following the market. Market's here chopping around, and we're starting to get oversold, and this lower stochastic was pointing higher. So that meant that the trend was still our friend. I'll try to. And expected this because we were getting closer and closer to turn up aggressively. So took the shot right when it started moving. I jumped in, got a good price, and it popped. It popped aggressively. Again, the scenario, that's what I'm actually building the bot on tonight, is to identify everything about these trades. What we need, what type of slope we need, what type of pullback in the range, and everything that goes along with the setups that you can start to feel. Does it have a reversal candle? Would I be watching? I said 26.52. If we break through that, I would go long. We got through it, took the trade. Oh, now I lost. And then got 7 and change on it. Just took it off. No. I mean, typically the signal would be a fast rotation back up above 80 on either the 9.3 or the 14.3. In this case, both of them would be perfect, and you just sell into it because excuse me. How many times have you seen the 14.3 and the 9.3 get up there and not see the market pull back from it? So, how many times? I mean, every time you go back here, you look at that 14.3, the 9.3 together. Once they're up there, there is a bias to the downside. So that's what we're looking at when we want to sell those. Came all the way back down. You can see this starting to pick up pace. This starts to trade out here. That's kind of a divergence, and to the downside we go. Then let me see.
Tradeometer and Q over bot.
Interesting candle here. You can see some of the bigger candles really play out. The bigger the tail, nice move there, nice tail there, and you just gotta, sometimes you don't want them too big, but realize that tail is a good area to watch for a stop. Same thing here on the opposite side. Probably the biggest tail here, the topping pattern here.
Tradeometer Y
And from that
overbought.
point over, and again, that situation, we were both overbought, starting to roll over. And then we continue to go down. I think I mentioned there was a divergence here. Again, I'm looking at a different chart, but on our other ES chart, F2, there was a divergence, and I pointed this one out. This is a sneaky divergence. It was a low here. We started moving up, and we quickly flushed that. Came down, grabbed whatever it was there, and then reversed. And that point was, we rotated back up. And then we actually pulled back again, took out the lows, held above the recent lows, so another divergence, and it never really retested that level. Well, maybe this one, double bottom, and then from that point on we got a little bounce. And then we had a divergence here. Look at that divergence. Beautiful divergence. And that nice move from that point. A couple big candles up here. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for any of these combination of things. We're looking for the candles, the pattern, the divergence, the tradeometer, and that's it, and if we don't see it, we have to find something better to do. Keep us busy until that shows up. All right, that's the important thing. Keep us busy until that shows up. And I want to automate this, so I'm in the process right now of building out a auto trader that identifies all the HPS setups. It identifies the 2020 flag setup. It recognizes a divergence setup. It recognizes a triple stochastic and a tradeometer setup. So I have all four of those being tested out. I got some good results. I'm up to about 75% success rate on the trades, and working on different trailing stops, and otherwise I can't get. I'm happy with that, But it all comes down to the management of the trade too. And I know I could do a lot better. It's just I wanted to be able to recognize the signal and then send an alert. I'm not even caring about the auto trade as much as let me know that the setup is happening. I want to be able to physically look at it, because I don't know if I have the confidence yet into trusting the machine, yet. Until I really wake up in the middle of the night and gets an alert and say, oh, here we have a divergence. Here, here's a divergence, Johnny. Here's a double bottom, what we call a double bottom divergence. And a much higher low off that second bottom. And also a 9-3-14-3 divergence. And from that point on, you got a nice little pop. That just happened. That just happened right now. So I want to be alerted to all these. I was just saying before, Shuttleworth, nice. Looking for a big move. Let's take a look at I haven't considered the coil other than in individual stocks. We noticed a lot of inside days. Like one of my favorites right now is this service now. And take a look at the chart today. Open up. Well, actually, that's the 60-minute time frame. But that's still a good 60-minute time frame. Let's go to the daily. We had a lot of inside days today. The pattern here held. It didn't really reverse. When the downside is down, you get that lower low and lower highs. Here we have an inside day. Could go either way. That's kind of a bullish. That's on service now. But let's take a look at the SPX and where the SPX is. A lot of things aren't. And see why I'm not. Let me get rid of this. Oh, that's on the week. I'm looking at my chart again. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? There we are. All right, so it wasn't so much of an inside day, but our bodies are all lining up, and that's the more important. We talk about the engulfing patterns and the bodies of our trade, and they are consolidating. It's very small. The range is getting tighter. Range is getting tighter. I think, news will bust this one way or another. No doubt. But yeah, I would say this is a good coil. I mean, if you look back at what the market has been giving us for the last 3 months, all the ranges, other than a few days, like this is almost identical, a couple candlesticks. That small range, and then eventually in this case, we got a pop, and then eventually move back down. But we got that reversal candle, a little move up. The daily looks fine. I'm just thinking it's a news-driven market, though. We have to have good news for the upside, and we do. We'll measure that out fast. That's the direction you want to be in. But I see the coiled pattern, which usually tends to lead to a bigger move. But direction-wise, I'm not going to even go there. Other than next, I think we'd actually rally if we get a rate rise. I think they don't rise. I think the market probably says, oh, we got to worry about it now next year. All right, let me get rid of this here. Remove that, and then I'm going to put in the 2-car one, 2-car B. I don't want to look. I'm going to have to look at the script again because I haven't looked at these in a couple of weeks. I just got overwhelmed with other stuff. All right, so I'm going to apply this, and we're going to run this right now. So it's going to go live, not live, but live, and just kind of push back. And what I'm showing you here, between the black lines, is just a visual for me. I made the back kind of a slate gray, and every time the black bar here is, excuse me, I apologize for coughing on the mic. This is basically where the stochastics break down underneath that 20 line. So it just gives me another way of looking at it, because I think I was working off of divergences off of this. So I wanted to measure out that and mark it with the arrows, mark it where they're entering that zone. But I've found a better way of doing divergence since then. But this still works for some reason. So I'm gonna go see why. Now I have it on the 1 minute time frame. It works really good on the the 5 minute time frame. I don't even see any trades here. Profit target hit. It was a good trade here. Whatever its profit target was hit on this. I don't know what it was here. 20. I can't see sometimes underneath this thing. That's why. There's a buy signal there. It looks like it sold it. Profit target hit on this one too. So it's a point target, profit target on here. And we could definitely tried to call. Anthony tried to call. I don't have my Skype up, maybe. Hold on, Anthony. Let me get my Skype up. I forgot I rebooted my computer today, so it doesn't start up automatically. It's another one, a nice one. Why is it reinstalling it? There was a little divergence. You can see the low here, the higher low. I think that's what that triggered that divergence there. And it chopped around for a while, didn't sell, and then popped and took its profit. So it actually worked out okay. I have to go over this after, what the criteria is on this. It makes it so good. I think it's Here's another one. Beautiful entry on this one. Another divergence setup. You see the low and the higher low, and entry and the profit target very fast. I mean, you probably could have got another couple points out of this, but I wanted to make. I was just trying to be identified to the setups, and then I'll decide how I want to adjust everything. There's another one. I think there was 2 cars on here. It sold one here. There was a strategy sell here. It didn't take a loss, or it did actually, a tick loss, but there's a strategy sell that involves a indicator. That's why it got. But then I also have a target here too. So I was scaling one off. That's what makes this thing key. Is I remember now, there is a it's kind of a fail-safe. I call it a fail-safe. It's actually quite ingenious, and I didn't realize it until after I started doing the back testing how it ended up saving me. That's why the profit just jumped up so much, because it was getting out of a trade before the stop. It was getting out because of the trend was changing. It wasn't because of the stop was being hit. It was the trend automatically. And the odds are when that trend was changing, the move did continue to move down. Sometimes it gets a little choppy, but either way, you're taking profits quicker. See, right when it started to turn over again, even though we had a little profit up here and it started to turn over, I sold it. Ended up grinding back up. The second one kept on and then continued to move higher. Is the bottom end on GE Eaton out there? Anthony, you want to give a call now? Should I call Anthony? I'll call Anthony. There we go. And we'll come back to this in a bit. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, John.
Sorry, I didn't realize my Skype was off.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I rebooted my computer this morning, and when I reboot it, this is one that doesn't restart. So, I'm seeing the market here dropping off too. Look at that, just off of a tradeometer setup too. So,
we're gonna have an interesting day tomorrow.
all right. So tell me what you're hearing.
Well, the whole thing on fast money, they're talking about how we can't basically get out of our own way. It seems like every time we have an opening pop in the morning, they sell the rally off. And yesterday was a prime example. Yesterday, everything was going relatively smooth.
Yeah.
And then we were doing the show, and then all of a sudden we noticed, right around 2:30, 3 o'clock, it slowly started selling off, and then it accelerated.
Yeah.
But they've done this a number of times, and we never had panic selling.
Yeah, but I don't feel like we're in that market where we should be panic selling. I mean, that panic selling comes capitulation. Capitulation comes at market
Tradeometer volume oversold.
crazy market bottoms. I don't know if we're in a pullback in a long bull market probably. Don't you think? Or
I think we're going to see a 100-point flush on the ES one day, and I wouldn't be surprised really if it's tomorrow or by Tuesday or Wednesday. Trump's going to be talking with China. I don't know if it's today or over the weekend. No, tomorrow or over the weekend.
oh, tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
Friday.
All right, so yeah, Friday. The volume picked up here. China's opening up, or about. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 8 o'clock. They're about to open up, I think. Volume came in here, so maybe there's some news coming out somewhere out there. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I don't have any of my charts up, just your screen. So I don't even want to keep my charts on. 2 nights ago, we were trading from 2 o'clock until 6:30, and then when you're trading, it doesn't matter. You're having a good time. But today, you look at all the stocks that we were buying. I caught a good scalp on Netflix. Made a mistake on Facebook, but I honored my stop loss, got out of it quick. But I wound up having 3 good trades on the VXX.
The
Where I was
VXX?
buying
Nice.
the VXX 39 calls. I bought them twice at 75 cents both times. One time I got 98 cents. The other time I got $1.02.
Nice.
Then it flushed. It went a little bit lower. Got 60 cents. I got 93 cents after that. So I had 3 good trades. Didn't buy a lot. I bought 5 contracts. But I wanted to see something. And then we had the, was it around 130? It got up to almost $40. It was like 39.80 or 39.90. And then it pulled back. I think we retest the VXX high, I believe, was $42. I really think we're going to see it.
All right. Definitely, if the market moves down, the VIX is...
I always want to be positive and optimistic. I just don't see it happening. It seems like there's more. It seems like more people are willing to sell.
Yeah.
Tradometer NQ oversold.
You know, you have that potential tax selling going into the end of the year.
Tradometer ES oversold.
All right, you have that going on. And, you know, not to think that this, you know, some stocks are up, but there's a lot of people that, you know, Deep Throat would always make this argument. He says there's a lot of people stuck in Facebook of much higher, you know, when they're buying Apple at $200 or wherever it was.
I think a lot of people got out in August as far as real money. I think it's just mostly the day traders right now.
Pushing this down, but then you're not going to see the capitulation then.
Well,
if it's day traders,
the algo boxes will make it happen, and then everybody else will jump in just to get out of their positions.
Yeah,
you know, that's the whole thing. They're talking about if we have the flush, everybody seems to think we're going to have.
But what's the flow? What's their target?
It's been the same target it's been for the last 3 months. They're talking 25.70, maybe 25.50.
All right.
That happens. Apple, they're saying could get down to 135, 140. They're saying Amazon could get down to 1,300, 1,400 range, another 200-point drop, which really isn't that much for a $1,600 stock.
Hmm.
And a lot of it is going to be based on what they hear from.
It looks like a bear flag. I could see that. You know, I could see us breaking down back down to February lows, but
it would be healthy. We really need it because you see it pops, it goes up a little bit. It's it seems to be recently lower lows and lower highs. You know, you could set your little your trend line to it. I mean, what are we at? 26.38. I mean, I think we break 2,600 tomorrow. I don't know if we stay below it, but I think we flash down.
All right. We got you on that one. To see if any news comes out either way. I mean, news is definitely going to move this market.
Oh, without a doubt. And then the algo boxes will accelerate the trade even quicker because they go off, keywords. They hear anything.
I tell you, I can't wait till next Wednesday to trade into this thing. I think they're going to raise. What do you think on this? You think Trump coming out with a statement he doesn't think that the Fed's going to raise rates anymore?
I don't think they are.
You don't think they are?
I said that. Well, look at the retail index. What is that? The XRT. If you look at the XRT and what's taken place in the last 2 months, even look at the banks the last 2 months. Right now, I mean, we're in a lot of trouble here. If it wasn't for Europe being so bad, Listen, everybody jokingly says I'm always a bull. I'm always a bull.
Well, I mean, you say we're not in good shape. I mean, you have to. I don't know. We hear
the if you look at the XRT, the retail index, well, look at Macy's today. Macy's was down over 3%. J.C. Penney's. I mean, all the retail stocks were down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just one day. But if you go out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, go out a month.
Yeah.
You go out weekly, you could see they've just been selling off. And if Costco is going to sell off, where are you going with all this? That means retail's really dead.
Well, yeah, I believe retail's dead. I mean, I never was a fan of it. But
we didn't think of shorting this.
No, I wouldn't. I don't.
Talk about the sell-off. We didn't think about buying the SPY puts or the VIX or the VXX calls.
Well, I mean, last week I was short for a day, and it caught the top, but I took it off way too early. So I mean, I appreciate a good short. Look at that Dow. Look at the Dow Jones here. That Dow 20 here. The transports. Looking at the transports.
I mean, the VXX overnight, as we're speaking, it got down to 38.87, and the last print was 39.21. You know what's held up really good, and I don't understand how or why? Tesla. Tesla was up another $10 today.
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling.
Well, if you're a money guy.
Chipotle was up over $1. I mean, to scalp them on an option play is great, because an expensive stock like that, you get $3, $4 swing. It's beautiful. But tomorrow, what I'm going to look at is, we had that run up in Apple, and you could pretty much see where it was ready to sell, and then it sold right off again. I was just very surprised. I was very surprised today on how easy it was. You stair-step higher, and then within 15 minutes, 3 bars, we were dropping like crazy. So, Bill Jar bought more of GE. Good luck with that. We talked about that last night trading. I said if it doesn't get above $8, start selling that thing. That's it.
Yeah, there's no really reason for it to turn around until they sell. They do something.
Well, I guess they were hoping with the chatter it was going to be a little bit better, but we couldn't hold. We couldn't even hold the open. Viljar, what I like to do is if you can't get above a pre-market high, or if it just double tops that, just sell it. And I mean, you could see GE. I mean, if you go on your charts, John, you see GE was basically a sell right at the open.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know if you got a second or third candle higher. Even Alibaba sold off. Chanos is shorting all the casino stocks that have Macau exposure also. Is that the open right there?
Yeah, that was the open. I'm just looking at when now.
So it's 1, 2, 3. So like 10, 15 minutes later, you pretty much had like a double top.
Yeah.
And then it was a stair step off.
Yeah, Tesla very strong. It's just about ready to break out the highs. It's going to hit that 420 level. Elon Musk is going to laugh all the way to the bank.
I really think they're doing it on purpose. I really do. But you know what? Listen, he's got the money. He bought the shares. I'm guaranteed he bought options.
We had another tradeometer set up here with a good reversal candle and a slight divergence. And a nice little bounce up to the 20 period. Moving average. Nice.
You know what held up pretty good? Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, that's a killer stock.
I mean, and you know what? That's another one you can put on your chart if you have a moment. It ran up to a high. It slowly sold off. It backed up, but everything was,
it seems like all these stocks basically followed a nice pattern.
Yep.
I don't mind so much because Microsoft is strong.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I'm going to keep an eye on Tesla. I'm going to keep an eye on Amazon, because Amazon should have another big move. But if it pops higher, I'm going to look to play the downside tomorrow.
All right.
I really am.
I'm looking at that. Go ahead.
Or, we can get a big flush in the morning, and then it recovers and goes higher. But, today, it was just very slow, and there didn't seem to be any energy in the market.
Yeah, I noticed that all day. It was just kind of a boring day. Microsoft here, charts on the screen. I just want to go over that for a second. They had a divergence. Nice move up until it got overbought, pulled back. Then it had a little island reversal, big candlestick there. Never turned back, held up. It's holding above the 200. But I tell you, one of my favorites is ServiceNow ServiceNow. Very similar chart. Holding above the 200, very close to the highs. These stocks that are showing good relative strength, they're very close to taking out the highs. You got to figure these will be the first ones that make a run to the highs if the market recovers. So Microsoft is in that boat. ServiceNow. I say Coop is still in.
Order pending.
Oh, crap. That's not me. That's the algorithm. Coop, the same thing, hold above the 200. Did you see RSG, Republic Services? That's a nice flag there.
The other thing we didn't get a chance to talk about today, even the IWM all day was weak. It opened high and it was straight down the whole day.
So let's see what happened here. I got an order pending. I wonder why. Oh, I had to go to the. Let's go.
Did you put an order in earlier? Did you put an order in earlier today at a certain level?
No. This is the algorithm I have running.
Oh, okay.
It's just a It's not a. It's not live. I just happened to be showing it before, so when I turn it on, it activates. So. Well, market just dropped off, too. Market just got a crushing blow to the side of the head here. Market at the lows right now. Abby Joseph Cohen. Yeah, you believe that?
What happened?
Ah, she's used up all her time. She milked that one call she made. And Joe, what was Joe Acapura? I forget his name. Abby Joseph Cohen. Who else? Some other ones. Market here, good volume here. This has got to be an Asian Open. And a fast little flush.
Tradeometer oversold. Tradeometer ES oversold.
Ooh. So we got an oversold level.
Might be good for a flush down right at the open.
And big volume coming in here tonight. 30-33 on the December contract. See. Again, here's the tradeometer. We talk about it all day. It's been unstoppable right now. Is it going to be another unstoppable zone here?
Quick question, John. You're not going to switch out of December until next week?
Paul is going to do it tomorrow. He's going to switch over.
All right.
It was just today. I think there was more volume today in December. So he's going to switch the tradeometer over tomorrow. If he doesn't do it, just remind him to do it. And then I think he'll have his chart on March, which would be H contract. Hold on a second. I'm just doing a text to the kids.
lows was 25.50. I have my book downstairs. I don't have it with me.
Phil Jar here now saying we're going to go up in 20 minutes now. So.
Hey, Bill Jar, it works for me. I'm not in anything, so. We just hit a new low, guys, 31.25. I don't know about that.
$20. I like the candle here. Let's see. I should put a candle counter in here also. This is always good to have. If
you know what?
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second.
One of those just back down to a red one.
See here, I'm going to put it over here, right up on the top here. So you have a pretty decent candle right there. But again, I do feel the pressure in the market tonight. I mean, you have to get the little bounces, but I don't think you're going to see any big reversal. So I think
your slower stochastics are at 9.
Yeah, I think you gotta get these little bounces and return, and then move back.
I would feel comfortable. If you got up to 34.5.
Sure.
If you want to take a shot and go long, because that'll be above the 9 EMA. Yeah, Vinny, it definitely has Thinkorswim. I'm on Thinkorswim right now.
Well, the 20 for me, I think is bigger. Price is held at 20.
ESZ18 and hit enter. Well, we're at 34 now. 34.25. No. There's Paul. Yeah.
Hey, Paul. Yeah, well, it's getting a little weak. I haven't even checked on Bitcoin. Has Bitcoin still 3,500 about, or did it? About?
No, it's lower than that. I thought it was 31.
Oh, it's getting down to 2,000, huh?
Yeah, it's going in the toilet.
Yeah.
Do you realize it was almost a year ago? Well, actually, it was a year ago.
A year ago.
When the three of us went out to dinner, we were talking about 20,000 would be the top.
Yeah.
When we went to that place with Dak.
Yeah.
How funny was that?
I remember.
18,000 points later.
Yep.
Vinny, it's /ESZ18. And that would
what
be
is the
the
price
ES.
of Bitcoin right now?
1 Bitcoin is worth $3,300, down 4.2% over the last 24 hours.
Down 4%. A lot. All right. Market here at lows of the session. Through the support pivot here. Does not look good. Volume picking up. Welcome to the jungle. What time is it here? 8:11, 8:13. This is looking pretty bad.
Yep.
This is looking pretty bad. I mean, I'm seeing this trend here.
Come on, guys. Let's break 2,600. 80 more points to go. We're there.
Ugh. What do I have here?
Monday, the ES actually was under 2,600. It was like 2,579. 25.80.
Adobe
That
didn't.
was Monday.
What was the earnings for today? I know it was Costco. I thought it was supposed to be Adobe.
Adobe had earnings out
Tonight?
I don't know what they were.
Because it didn't even move the stock. I don't know what. I thought they had
Well, it
earnings.
was up. It was up a couple of dollars before I went out. I don't know where it is now.
Weird that I'm not getting any. Yeah, Jerry Jr. Asia just opened up, so we're starting to see some selling coming into Asia. Asia started off on the down note, and we were talking about it earlier. It just feels like there's an uneasiness in the market. No buyers stepping in.
I got a Tuesday low, John, of about 26.21.
Okay.
And that was at the what was that? 2 o'clock on Tuesday. So we got 11 more points to go, and that would if that doesn't hold, then we go down to 25.79, and that was Monday's low.
You know what? Let me get up for a second here. Just stay there.
There is no strength in this market. It is weak.
Yeah, we're looking at the Apple chart right now. And just for a second on this, I was just thinking of something. I haven't looked at the fundamentals, but I will tell you is remembering the stock up here around above $200 and people making the argument of how undervalued it is. And now it's another 30 points lower. We've got to be screaming.
Now, can you go out to January, John, with Apple?
Yep.
To see where the February low was. That's below 160, so it's around 150. Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, right below 150 it looks like. 150, yeah, 150. 150 area.
Below 150.
Yeah.
That's when you buy next, John.
Yeah, well. It's a big discount.
John, quick question.
I like it.
Viljar uses the backslash ES only, and I do the ESZ 18. Is there a difference?
I think his probably autofills the forward contract.
Okay, so he doesn't have to constantly change everything.
Yeah, maybe it just grabs the forward contract. Are you using the same system, same charts?
I'm on Thinkorswim.
Yeah. It depends. I put in. I know there's two symbols I could put in. I could put in the month H, or I could put in a generic. I forget what it was. Slash lower. I think the standard is ES. Underscore
if I only
F.
use the backslash ES, John,
yeah,
the low right now is 34 and a quarter. Where if I use the Z18, it's
because I don't know if that's already. Oh, good question. I don't know if one's already rolled over. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I rather just.
I can tell you one thing: they're both heading down. I bet.
Oh yeah.
They're both heading.
I mean, 34 and a quarter was the other one. We have 30, 50 right now. 30 and a half. And we're gonna break that.
So Viljar said it rolled, and it's just continual. It just takes over. But yeah, I feel like we got a major spike down here. 20-period moving average is holding us up really good. We got a little bounce, but we're embedded down here. 6 we are. Not even close to the 20. We're talking about bear flags here. Very weak market. Very weak. And continue to be... Look, what do you got? We're down 14 and a half. Yeah. Any way you look at it, I have the H and the Z contract up here, so it's 14.5 to 14.25. They're both down 14, basically. One's 635, the other one's 631. New Jersey declares war.
Tradometer YM oversold.
Oh, there we go. Breakdown. New Jersey declares war on residents. Plans door-to-door gun confiscation campaign. New Jersey law that makes it a felony to possess a gun magazine capable of holding over 10 rounds of ammunition is now active. The widely unconstitutional law instantly criminalizes hundreds of thousands of New Jersey citizens who legally acquired normal capacity firearm magazines, which include 17-round pistol magazines and 30-round rifle magazines, as tools of self-defense against the very same violent criminals that are protected by the Democrats who passed the gun magazine ban. So again, all news is bias. This is out of...
When you were talking, we just got down to 29.25.
Oh, yeah.
It bounced real quick. I see no swamp. It's one way to keep me up all night. Well, say goodbye to 29 real quick. The next time it gets to that 20 level, John, I think I'm going to short it again.
All right. To the what level? To 29? You're going to short at 29?
No. But the 20 moving average.
Oh, the 20 moving average, yeah.
I didn't see it bounce there. I walked away for a second and then it pulled back. But it hasn't gotten above there yet.
No, that's what...
Right now we're below 29 again, or below 30. We printed 29 even.
No, this is getting ugly. This is going to be ugly soon.
We're at 28.75 just printed, so 28.50.
I got to just do one thing here. I'm just going to pause this for a second. Get into this. According to the court filings, Trump was present at the meeting with his former longtime personal attorney, Michael Cohen, and David Pecker, chairman of the Inquirer parent company, American Media. And the plan involves... The plan involves Pecker flagging potentially I can't get through this story. Negative stories about Trump's relationship with women, then purchasing the rights to the allegation that no intention to publish them in a practice known as catch and kill, according to a non-prosecution agreement between AMI and Manhattan federal prosecutors made public Wednesday.
Here's the problem with all this, John. They spent millions of dollars on a Russian probe, and they came up with him basically paying 2 or 3 hookers. I really, you know what? Those guys should go to jail for wasting our money.
AMI paid former Playboy model Karen McDougal $150,000 and claimed to have had a 10-month-long extramarital affair with Trump beginning in 2006, a payment which federal prosecutors have mounted to an effort to influence the 2016 U.S. election and a campaign finance violation. I don't see that at all. They're saying the federal prosecutors amount to an effort to influence the 2016 election. Hold on, let me finish it. This week's court filing said that Cohen, Pecker, and one other member of the campaign met in August 2015, during which Pecker offered to help.
Pecker and Bush.
Pecker and Bush. Pecker offered to help deal with the negative stories about the presidential candidate's relationship with women by offering other things, assisting the campaign in identifying such stories so they could be purchased and their publication avoided. AMI has now admitted to keep Cohen appraised of negative reporting about Trump following the meeting. Keep Cohen appraised of negative, right? Let me them. While Pecker and AMI haven't been charged with any crimes and are now cloaked in an immunity deal, Cohen pleaded guilty in a campaign finance violation and 7 unrelated crimes. Cohen claimed in court that the hush money payments were made at Trump's direction. All right, well, is this something that's moving the markets? I don't know.
Now, I know women are being insulted, but how many congressmen and senators have done the same exact thing?
Yeah.
You know, listen, even if there was Russian collusion, and I'm not saying there wasn't, but if there was, you got to bring Obama in because it was on his watch.
Yeah.
And Trump only spent $15 million on his whole campaign. Hillary Clinton spent almost $200 million. So that's my only problem. If after basically a year and a half investigation and how many millions of dollars, you came up with the fact that, all right, he's an old perverted man that paid women to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Well, yeah. Matt is here saying new investigation based on what they found on the raid at Cohen's. Yeah, I believe, this thing is going deeper. I don't know,
The other thing I have a problem with,
Russian
John,
thing.
and this is the only thing, when this happened, and this is the only reason why I really get bent on it, what happened to attorney-client privilege? No one's saying boo about it, but if that ever happened to us, and our attorneys basically got raided and they took information that was privileged to, our attorney and used it against us, and that's what this was all about. That's the thing that bothers me the most. That's basically an invasion of our rights, which every criminal seems to use, except for the good guys. Listen, if he really did something wrong, great. But if all they found in 2 years, he got laid by different women and he paid them, I'm sorry, I don't care. Not like he beat him up. Right now we're hovering around that 30 level. We might go, maybe we'll bounce from here.
Well, here we have the 20-period moving average again, a retest of that S1 pivot area, a rotation back up, and still an embedded stochastic. So, trend is your friend right now. But yeah, what are we going to? I think there's has to be a divergence for me to get any interest on the bounce play.
My relative strength index, we can't get above 41.
Yeah.
Like it gets that 41, go crazy, 42 level, and then all of a sudden it just drops. So let's see what happens. Right now we're under 30 again. You know what? I was too busy talking to you. We hit the 20 EMA.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish short.
Well, it's right there. But here's an interesting note. We got riots in France. No one's happy with that president. Italy is screwed up. No one's happy there. Great Britain, Theresa May, very lucky to be holding on to her job right now. Our president, under investigation, or at least, there is an investigation going on trying to nail him. I mean, the whole world, the big countries, every one of them. What countries don't have a problem? Canada. Canada seems to be hanging in there.
Mez, isn't that amazing? They're going to go crazy, him spending money on winning the campaign with $15 million. Why don't we audit Hillary with the $200 million and see where it went?
Yeah, and then the whole thing about his taxes too. Aren't they supposed to be able to get to his taxes now that the midterms are over? Did the Democrats have that power to do that yet, or?
First of all, you don't have to. It's just every president did.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I really don't care what he made or not. I just want to see him do good with the country. Unfortunately, listen, even the Republicans are against him because he wants to take away certain privileges that they've always had. He gets rid of lobbyists and does term limits.
Yeah.
They'll look to shoot him, unfortunately, which will still be the greatest thing for this country. Term limits are the worst thing that any politician wants to hear because they want to have a job until they're dead. You shouldn't be allowed to serve longer. Go crazy.
You know what, Maz? Andy, you hear about all those bombs? This was a computer hack that emailed out all these bomb threats all over the world. We got them here in Rockland County. We got them here in Rockland County. I mean, multiple bomb threats, several cities in the U.S. today. They were all electronically delivered. I mean, it smells of just another,
Vinny, you're right.
hack.
Everybody give him stuff on the second term when he goes for election. We bounced above the 20, John. We're up to 31 right now.
I mean, of course they have to announce it and they're investigating, but I'm sure it was all bogus. There was a shooting, though, a kid shooting, another school shooting with some a kid, but that's separate from the bomb threat, but nothing from the bomb threat. And I think I actually read our local one was not being taken seriously, but it came in the same way. Electronic. I don't know how that came in emails to different.
John, I just took a short at 30.75. I got a 2-point stop on it.
All right.
You know, I don't watch the news, so I didn't hear anything about the bombs or anything.
Yeah. Alexa, what was the news on the bomb threats today?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, good for nothing.